Hello, 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 and welcome back to another high altitude investing live stream. Today is the 13th of August, and I'm very excited to be streaming today and talking about the crypto markets. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on. So we'll get started here and call it a day. Call it a live stream. A good day to be alive in this wonderful world of crypto. There's really very few things that are cooler than crypto. I firmly believe that crypto is super cool, super fun to be part of. Welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So we're going to do a quick analysis on Bitcoin, and then we'll go into all of our favorite altcoins. And I have some I've written down on my whiteboard back there, people that have been requesting for me to do analysis on for a while. And then I've got everybody in the live chat, so feel free to just start dropping your requests in the live chat so that once I'm done doing a quick analysis on Bitcoin, we'll go ahead and do a bunch of analysis on all of our favorite altcoins, because altcoin season is here. That's the name of this live stream, and it's here. So I'm super excited. Charts Chasers, what is up, my friend? Lil Nippy, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Matt Osty, welcome, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, we'll do a quick analysis on Bitcoin here. So I made a post about Bitcoin on my X account and on my regular YouTube feed and in the Discord as well. If you're not a member of the free Discord, make sure that you click in the link of the description of this live stream or any of my videos and join in the free Discord. But be aware of people. There has been a couple people that got scammed. It's really unfortunate, but other users will hop in here and they'll make an account that looks like mine with like one letter or two difference in the username. And then they'll grab a bunch of usernames, leave my server before I can even ban them, and then they'll try to scam people. So be aware of people that are trying to scam. It's unfortunate that it happens. It's the internet. It's the wild, wild west over here sometimes. But be aware of that. I'm not going to message you asking you for money ever, or telling you to go sign up for a website to get free trading profits. Nothing like that. So just be aware of that. If you really want to get a hold of me, the best way to do that is over email. highaltitudeinvesting@gmail.com is the email that I primarily use to communicate with my viewers and VIP members and stuff. That's the safest way to communicate with me, where you know for sure it's not somebody pretending to be me in the Discord. But make sure you guys go join the free Discord if you're not a member of the free Discord. Michael Freon, what is up? Let's print some money. Yes, let's do it. And yes, everybody keep dropping your requests. I see a whole bunch of requests here already in the live chat. I've got a couple on my whiteboard I'm going to cover. Let's talk about Bitcoin and we'll get right into altcoins because it is altcoin season. So I made a post on my X account. Even though Bitcoin dominance is falling off a cliff right now, so that means that the percentage gain is bigger on altcoins, right? Altcoins are growing bigger percentage. That's why Bitcoin dominance is going down. The price of Bitcoin will continue to skyrocket throughout the bull market, as it always does. So if you go study any of the previous bull markets, whenever altcoin season starts, it's not like Bitcoin goes down in value. Bitcoin goes up. It's like the mothership. It's leading the bull market, but altcoins are doing a bigger percentage gain. So Bitcoin dominance goes down, but the price of Bitcoin continues to increase. That's historically what's happened. Altcoins will give you the biggest returns in terms of percentage gain. So you're going to make the biggest return on your investment investing in altcoins. But Bitcoin will still have a monstrous run from here. This bull market could last longer than any other cycle we've ever seen as big institutions are investing. So that's another really important thing to be aware of. We have more institutional money, more big money, more adoption than we've ever seen before. So it's possible that this cycle could last longer. Even if you look at the altcoins, some of them in the last cycles were already pumping to new all-time highs. So this cycle is longer so far in terms of time. You just can't dispute the charts, right? And the public is starting to adopt crypto. So never before, the last two cycles, crypto was purely speculative. Now crypto is both speculative, and we're starting to see more of a longer term sustainable adoption happening for crypto. Bitcoin is a lot like Apple before it became the biggest company in the world. So if you look at this chart right here, here is Apple early on, when billions of dollars of institutional money were going into Apple computers here during the internet bubble pop, and 2008, right? That's Apple during 2008 when you see this crash right here and that huge volume spike, okay? And then Apple went into a huge bull market where it became the biggest company in terms of market cap in the entire world, okay? And Bitcoin really looks the same. So even though altcoins are having their season and they're going, and altcoin season is starting and they're going to give a bigger percentage gain than Bitcoin will, what I'm telling you is Bitcoin is still set up for a monstrous run. Don't underestimate what Bitcoin can do. Even if, like, I love Bitcoin Cash, right? I like altcoins. I like a lot of different coins. Even if you firmly believe in those coins, understand that Bitcoin is set up, whether you like it or not, the charts are set up for a parabolic run. Altcoins are going to give you more money. They're going to grow faster. And we'll talk about that too in the charts. But Bitcoin is set up for a monstrous run. It's a lot like Apple before it became the biggest company in the world. Again, altcoins may deliver you bigger percentage gains, but Bitcoin will be the mothership fueling the fire for the entire crypto market. Be ready for big things. So this is historically what's always happened. The charts are set up for it. Billions of dollars have gone into Bitcoin. Even if you're not a big Bitcoin fan, if you like other coins instead, the charts never lie, and the volume is clearly showing that Bitcoin has been accumulated by massive institutions, and they're going to send it to the moon, even though altcoins will make you more money and will grow faster than Bitcoin will. But it's still going to have a monster run. So don't underestimate classic Bitcoin, okay? Even if you don't like it. And I'm all for new coins that over the long term will overtake Bitcoin, but the charts don't lie. It's set up for a monster run. So just to get that out of the way before we go into altcoins, before we go into all your favorite coins, and before we talk about Bitcoin dominance and all of those things, because you have to understand that Bitcoin has always fueled every altcoin bull market we've ever seen. And it's likely to continue to happen. Now let's talk about Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so this is where all the altcoin people are going to be glad that they tuned into today's stream, because even though I started off a little bit Bitcoin bullish, you'll see why I named this live stream Altcoin Season is Here. And if you look here, Bitcoin dominance has rejected off of resistance and it's falling off a cliff on the monthly. So this is exactly like what happened right here at the start of the biggest parabolic run in crypto history up until that point, which was 2017. Bitcoin dominance started to fall off a cliff, and this was the biggest altcoin season we'd ever seen in the history of crypto. Even bigger than 2021. Okay, if you thought 2021 was a big altcoin season, you should have been here in 2017 if you weren't. It was crazy. Super fun, right? So that's starting all over again. Just like it did right here in 2021 and right here in 2017, Bitcoin dominance is falling off a cliff. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe I should keep my Bitcoin, or maybe I should sell my altcoins because Bitcoin is going to do a monstrous run. No. And I'm not telling you guys it's not smart to have a little Bitcoin, but I am telling you that in terms of where we are at in the market cycle, where we're at in terms of Bitcoin dominance is for a fact falling off a cliff on the monthly candlesticks, just in the same way that it did right here in 2017 and right here in 2021, okay? So this is super, super good for the altcoins. And if you go to coinmarketcap.com and you click on 24-hour gains, all of the biggest coins up in the last 24 hours are all altcoins. Bitcoin is up like 1%. You have to go all the way down to the bottom of the list. Even Bitcoin Cash is up higher in the last 24 hours than Bitcoin and in the last week. So this tells you Bitcoin Cash is going to do a bigger percentage gain from here on out than Bitcoin will. This is just the nature of the crypto markets. Take the truth if you want to. You don't have to listen to it, but the charts don't lie. Okay? The charts don't lie. They're never... The fundamentals, super useful to understand, but news will lie to you. Fundamentals will sometimes lie to you. But the charts will never lie. It's just pure data. Just pure, unblemished data. And they're never going to lie to you. And the fact of the matter is the charts are showing a massive altcoin season starting right now as we speak. So this is super, super good for anybody holding altcoins, for anybody that's a big believer in their favorite altcoins. The longest wait you've ever probably experienced, even bigger than the wait that we had to wait in the last 2 cycles, is over. This is altcoin season, and be ready to get rich and print money, because that's what's going to happen for people that are holding altcoins. This is just the truth. Again, take it or leave it, but the charts never lie. So now is the time to be putting money in to altcoins, to be converting some of your BTC into altcoins. This is the point in the cycle where you're going to make the most money if you convert Bitcoin into altcoins. Up until this point, Bitcoin has been doing a bigger percentage gain overall than altcoins. But now we're starting to see Bitcoin dominance falling. So let's talk about your favorite coins. You get the point. Bitcoin's still going to increase in value. Altcoins are going to do a bigger percentage gain, and Bitcoin dominance is falling. So let's go ahead and start covering coins that you guys have requested here in the live chat. Adam says, good morning. I'm ready for Vell to make a giant move. Welcome, Adam, and we can cover Vell if you want in today's live stream. Alex E says, am I late? XRP, please. I'm overinvested since 2018. Yeah, we can cover XRP. I'm going to try to get as many of these coins as possible covered today. So let's start off with Telcoin. Matt Osty wants me to cover Telcoin. So let's go ahead and pull up Telcoin here. So Telcoin is still following the fractal that I've shown many, many times in my videos about Telcoin. And that's the Ethereum fractal. So if you pull up Ethereum on the right and you look at Ethereum in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, this is what it looked like over here on the right. This is Ethereum, okay? And over here on the left is Telcoin. And what you can see here is a perfect market cycle. You have your big euphoric run and a big correction. Then you have a reaccumulation. right here. You break bullish out of that reaccumulation, you come back down onto it one more time and test it as support, and then you go to the moon, right? This is a classic market cycle of human emotion here on the 1 month candlesticks for Ethereum. Now, if we're looking at the monthly candlesticks on Altcoin, it took longer. You can see this is a bigger cycle because if we count 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and then 2021 is when the bull market happened, that's 5 years since 2017 in the last bull market to 2021 when the next bull market came. But if you look at Altcoin, we have 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, and we still haven't had our bull market yet, right? 2026 is about to happen soon. It's August 8th or 13th. We're on the 13th of August right now. We're already halfway through 2025, and we haven't seen a major bull run like we did here in 2021, right? So we do have a little bit more time that it took. It's a little bit longer. But you can see what happened here is the same thing. We have a bull market, a bear market, a reaccumulation, and a retest of that reaccumulation, just like right here. Same exact thing. Altcoin is set up to go parabolic. Bitcoin dominance is dropping. This thing is set up to go to the moon, just like Ethereum did in 2021. So between, I think the end of the year is going to be really bullish, and 2026 could be super bullish, like crazy bullish for crypto. That's what the charts are showing. So be ready for a big parabolic run coming on Altcoin and a huge profitable pump. So that's my view on Altcoin. Now let's pull up Bitcoin Cash, BCH. We'll put BCH over here on the left, and we'll put another coin over on the right. So here's Bitcoin Cash over here on the left. All right. Now, what was I saying about accumulation patterns and the way markets work? Well, you saw what happened to Altcoin, right? A big parabolic pump, huge correction, reaccumulation. That's what this is. This whole period right here on Bitcoin Cash is reaccumulation. You have a parabolic run here in 2017, a big bear market in 2018, and this entire time, Bitcoin Cash has been reaccumulating. That's what it's been doing. And if we pull up, let's pull up Litecoin right here. And I know I've shown this fractal before, but it's just as important to look at now as it was when I showed it first, like 7 or 8 months ago or whatever. I don't remember how long it's been, but I showed this fractal quite a while ago. I started talking about this fractal with Bitcoin Cash, and it's still just as true today as it ever was. So here's Litecoin, and I like to use this fractal because this was the first bull market ever on Litecoin. In 2013, Litecoin had a bull market, and then a bear market, and a reaccumulation, and then started 2017, which was a huge bullish upward, just parabolic run for Litecoin, right? 2017. And if you look at Litecoin over here on the right, and this is Bitcoin Cash's first cycle in 2017. So pretend this pump and dump in 2017 is like the pump and dump in 2013 and 2014, right? Pretend that's the same point in the cycle, because that was the first cycle Litecoin ever had. And this is the first cycle Bitcoin Cash ever had. That's why this is such a good fractal to compare, because it's really the same thing. And if you look right here, here's Litecoin over here on the right, and here's Bitcoin Cash over here on the left. Look what happened to Litecoin. This is what I mean by altcoin season is here. That big parabolic run where altcoins go nuts. Bitcoin's still increasing, but altcoins are going nuts and Bitcoin dominance is falling off a cliff. We are at that point. That started the beginning of 2017. That's when that started, that parabolic run. We are at that exact point in our cycle right now. We are ready for a big parabolic run on Bitcoin Cash like we've never seen before, not even in 2017. Because you can see how this big run on Litecoin, look how much bigger that bull market on Litecoin is than the bull market in 2013. Way bigger in 2017 right here than 2013. So we're really prepared for a parabolic run here on Bitcoin Cash that is bigger than anything we have ever seen it ever do before. Ever. And we're right at that point where altcoin season really starts and goes nuts. Okay, cool. How about Trash Coin? Looking at the chart. I believe you had me cover this in one of the last analysis or live streams. Have me do analysis on this. I've done a lot of coins, so it's hard for me to remember all the coins that you guys have me cover in these live streams. Trash Coin. Let's pull up Trash Coin on the 12-hour. Still, there's a lot of volume here. It's still in a downtrend. So we want to see some type of double bottom here. We have to have some type of a double bottom pattern and a turnaround off of these lows for us to really go parabolic here. So you want to, but there is a bunch of volume, which I like. I like the volume. And it's pretty common for coins when they first get added to fall off a cliff and then double bottom and start to turn around. That's a common thing. But we do want to see some type of a breakout through resistance because it's just not picking up yet. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying we have a double bottom right here. We need to break out. We need some type of a bottoming structure to form on this coin. I do like all the volume though, because that tells me that this is likely being accumulated. It's on MEXC, so MEXC pretty much always, if something is on MEXC, I'm not saying it has to pump, but when we get full force in the bull market, most stuff on MEXC is going to pump. These exchanges, they Hello? 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 Oh man. Hello? Hello? Hey you guys, I am so sorry. I wasn't looking at the live chat. I got talking about Plume. I had no idea there wasn't sound. Let me switch. My audio interface is acting up right now from my main microphone. I plugged in, I just turned my normal laptop mic on. Thank you guys for telling me that. It's just one of those fluke things that happen sometimes. I appreciate you guys letting me know. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if this will work. I just plugged back in my normal mic. Definitely, I'll try to keep a closer eye on the sound and make sure it's still working throughout the stream. I apologize. Thank you guys for letting me know. I don't know how long it wasn't working. It looks like it was working for most of the time and just barely stopped working again. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and keep going here. Thank you guys for your patience while I got that fixed, and we'll get right back to our live stream. So thank you guys. That was crazy. I don't know. It's just a glitch with my USB drive for my audio interface. It must have stopped working. It looks like yeah, it looked like it was out for a minute. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was basically just talking about Plume here and talking about how Plume looks exactly like Coinbase stock and how I'm really bullish on Plume. I love the ABC correction here, A, B, and C. So you can see a perfect ABC correction. Also, I don't know if my mic was working at this point or not, but I also thanked Michael Freon for the donation. I really appreciate the $9.99 donation. That means a lot to me. But yeah, Plume is looking good, you guys. Plume looks amazing. ABC correction looks a lot like Coinbase stock down here. Double bottom, ready for a big reversal. Okay, so looking good. Now let's go ahead and cover. I bet my mic was still working for Bitcoin Cash, but let me know if it wasn't working during my Bitcoin Cash analysis. And oh, the last TA we didn't hear only. So you mean only on Plume. That's good. I'm glad that you guys heard Telcoin and Bitcoin Cash analysis. Cool. All right. We'll go right back into analysis here. I'm so sorry, you guys. I got to keep an eye on that. I didn't realize that my sound went out on us. Okay, let's pull up Velo. At least we only lost audio for one coin, and then I just barely recovered it. This coin looks good. Plume looks really good, okay? Just understand a full recovery. It looks amazing, okay? It looks really good. All right, let's pull up Velo here, and let's do some analysis on Velo. So as you guys know, I'm a big Velo fan. I like Velo a lot. I've been covering Velo quite frequently on my channel, and yeah, it's one that I really like. So let's pull up here on the 4-day candlesticks. And one of my favorite fractals to show here with Velo is actually Bitcoin in 2015, because that's when I first got into crypto. All right, my little brother told me about Bitcoin in 2014. He had watched a Watch Mojo video, and he told me there was this money, this currency that you could mine with your computer, but it would pay you in real money, like it was worth real money. I looked at him and I told him that sounds like the biggest scam I've ever heard in my entire life. And then I did some of my own research and was listening to a podcast and realized that Bitcoin is actually really cool. I've started to kind of believe in it, and it aligned with my political views, you know, freedom of like finance and not having things being controlled by central authorities and small government and all of that kind of stuff. So I was like, this is cool. This is like, you know, as somebody that really believes in the Constitution and like the original founding of America and like what America used to be, and still we're making America great again. I really believe that. But what America used to be, you know, when I first found Bitcoin in 2015, or 2014, and did some research and then got into it in 2015, I was like, this aligns with my political beliefs. You know, this is cool. Like, this is awesome. And Bitcoin right here in 2015 over here on the right in Vell look very similar. This accumulation right here, and even this pump right here and this pullback, this is a lot like this right here, you guys. So imagine buying Bitcoin down here at like $400. Only you're buying Velo at like just under 2 pennies. In preparation for a big parabolic run, in preparation for a huge parabolic move like what happened on Bitcoin. That's really what buying Velo right now is like. It's like buying Bitcoin in 2016 before Bitcoin went nuts in 2017. That's what it's like. So yeah, I'm a big bull on Velo, and I believe we will see a strong run for this coin. So thank you for the request. Alex Eat, XRP. Let's pull up XRP and cover XRP here for Alex. XRP crypto, XRP on not Coinbase. We got to go to Bitstamp. So let's pull up XRP right here on the left. And we'll go to Bitstamp, because that's where all the data, historical data is. And then we'll pull up Bitcoin actually over here on the right. Funny enough, we're going to use Bitcoin as our coin to compare XRP to. People are like, what? You can't compare XRP to Bitcoin? I'm like, you guys watch me, all right? Watch me do it. Stop me, okay? I will, and you'll be surprised how accurate it is. So here's Bitcoin over here on the right. Here's XRP over here on the left. And what you can see here is the same psychology. Huge bull market in 2017 for Bitcoin, huge bear market in 2018, another big bull market in 2019, another big bear market in 2019. Pretty much that all happened in 2019, a little bit into 2020, and then a huge bull market started for Bitcoin. I mean, look how big this bull market has been, you guys. Even after the FTX crash, right? Look how big that bull market has been since 2020 for Bitcoin. Now let's stretch the chart out a little bit here again. And look at XRP over here on the left. Big bull market, big bear market, big bull market, bear market, and we're starting a big bull market for XRP right now that could take us to the moon, to prices that a lot of people are not expecting. A lot of people are thinking way too small. A lot of people have been here for crypto for a while, and they're thinking so little picture. They're thinking, oh, it's going to be like 27, it's going to be like 2021 or 2017. Well, what if it's not? What if crypto is mass adopted by the public and something happens more like what happened to the internet and to computers after the internet bubble popped and then recovered, and then Apple became the biggest company in the entire world in terms of market cap, and Microsoft became one of the biggest companies in the entire world, and Nvidia became a household name, and all of these companies and Amazon became a household name. That's called mass adoption. What if that happens for crypto? What if that's what happens? What if we go into the biggest bull market humanity has ever seen? What if that's what happens? And you sold all your XRP at $3.27 because it was close to the old all-time high. right? That's what a lot of people are going to do, unfortunately. They're going to think way too small. They're going to sell all of their coins, all their favorite coins, way too early. They're not thinking big picture enough. This is the cycle where crypto is mass adopted. Even though this is a live stream about altcoins, altcoin season is here. I started this live stream with an example of Bitcoin compared to Apple and how Bitcoin became the biggest company in the entire world. Or Apple, my bad. Apple became the biggest company in the entire world. Why? Because of mass adoption. Apple became a household name. That's the internet bubble. Look at this. Okay? And you guys don't have to believe me. I understand that it's kind of like Plato's cave right now. Not a lot of people are going to want to come out and see the light. You're happy just looking at the shadows on the wall. If you don't know about the Plato's allegory of the cave, go research it. I understand a lot of people won't believe me. This is the internet bubble. Do you see this little tiny pump and this crash right here? That scared the entire world. Everybody got super excited and then it crashed. Do you realize how small that is in comparison to the growth that came afterwards in the world of computing and the internet? It's like a microscopic dot now, the internet bubble. That's how much growth came after the internet bubble popped. Yeah, we had 2008. That shook some people out of the market. But even after 2008, look how much growth Apple did. All right? Look at Bitcoin. That's the 2017 crypto bubble. This is 2022 FTX. It's the exact same thing as the internet bubble and 2008 on Apple. Look at that. Here's the internet bubble right here on Apple. Here's 2008. Here is 2017 crypto bubble, and here's 2022 FTX crash. It's the same thing. So I'm telling you guys, what if crypto, and you don't have to believe me, I know it's like Plato's allegory of the cave. Most people are going to watch the shadows on the wall because that's what they want. They're going to take the blue pill because it's easier. But what if crypto goes into a mass adoption phase? What if crypto grows more than what most people are imagining? XRP included. It's not going to be a little bump. It's going to be a parabolic run that's sustained. What if we are headed into mass adoption? That's what I want you guys to ask yourself. And you can make your own investing decisions based on what you believe is going to happen. But at least consider mass adoption. Because if you study what happened to the internet, if you study what happened to computers, crypto is like going through the same exact thing that every major technology goes through. Couple bubbles, couple big runs and pops, and then it gets mass adopted by the public because big institutions put billions of dollars into it. And that's where crypto is at right now. So that's my view on XRP. I believe XRP will be a big runner, and it's very undervalued even here at $3.27. Okay, let's pull up Algo. I'm just going to cover every single coin down this list. If you guys came in late, hopefully I can get to your requests as well. But I'm just going to try to cover every coin down this list. Holy cow, we've got a bunch of people that I haven't responded to. Angel, thank you for tuning in. Can you explain the relation of altcoin season and Bitcoin price and when we should rotate back the altcoins to Bitcoin? So, yeah, we can talk about that. I'm going to cover this coin, then we'll talk about that. William Harvey, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to the fantastic crypto ride to mega upside. Yeah, me too, man. It's going to be fun. T-Fuel. People want T-Fuel analysis. Yes, I can cover T-Fuel as well. I'm going to try to cover as many. Um, Elvinus, we already did Telcoin today. It was at the start of today's stream, so make sure you go back and rewatch this live stream later and get my views on Telcoin. I already did Telcoin. I'm super bullish on Telcoin. So if you missed out on the Telcoin analysis, I already did it. Go rewatch this live stream. You're going to make a bunch of money watching my analysis. It's really ready for a big bull run. So, all right, let's do some Algorand. I'll kind of cover these coins pretty quickly so we can answer as many questions and cover as many coins as possible, but I'll do my best to be as thorough as possible as well. So Algorand is a pretty classical market cycle. Huge pump up here in 2021, big correction. This is where people give up on it, but you can see we have institutional volume coming in. This is the biggest spike we've ever seen on Algorand. So what we're starting here is a reversal. We're starting to bottom out, just in the same way that we started to bottom out in Ethereum with Ethereum in 2018. So let's pull up Ethereum over here on the right, and we'll keep Algo over here on the left. And if you look at Ethereum over here on the right, and you look at Algorand over here on the left, this is what I'm talking about, okay? Starting to bottom out. This right here is the COVID drop. This right here, everybody got scared of tariffs and stuff right here. Same kind of thing. Same story all over again, just a different headline in the news, okay? But we're really getting ready for the big parabolic run here that everybody wants. And it's coming for Algorand. This looks amazing. This is a bigger volume spike than even Ethereum had right here during COVID in terms of relation to the rest of the volume in the market. I'm not talking about total dollar amount. It's probably bigger in total dollar amount too. Honestly, we'd have to go compare. But in relation to the rest of the volume range, this is bigger than what Ethereum had even right here, with this volume spike right here. So big things are coming for Algorand. XDC. Yes, let's pull up XDC. I'm glad that you brought this coin up. Pull up XDC on Bitstamp, and we'll isolate the chart, not compare it to anything this time because I just want to isolate it. So XDC is starting to break out. So this is wave 1 and wave 2. This is a lot like Dogecoin. If you guys were here, and you guys, I do fractal analysis. I know a lot of you guys are big on fundamentals. I like to look at fundamentals too, but understand that I look at charts, okay? Charts never lie. And in terms of fractal analysis, buying XDC right now is a heck of a lot like buying Dogecoin before Dogecoin went vertical. That's where we're at in the cycle. Right here. It's called the first sell-off. Before you get a parabolic run. Before the market goes vertical. That's what buying XDC is like right now. It's like buying early on before we get a parabolic run all the way to a new all-time high and the price goes straight vertical. And everybody gets excited and then everybody piles in. So buying XDC is exactly like buying Dogecoin in terms of fractal analysis. It's in the first sell-off pattern of its market cycle before it goes parabolic into euphoria and goes nuts. Very good buy. Very, very, very good buy right now. Hbar. I'm probably not going to be able to cover all the coins that you threw right here as much as I want to, Alex. We've got other people that are requesting coins too, but I'll do Hbar real quick and then we'll cover other people's as well. Very similar thing actually. Hbar is in the same point of its cycle. First sell-off pattern right here. We just broke bullish out of a bullish flag right here. Super good to see that. This thing is getting ready to go parabolic in the same way that Dogecoin did. Same thing. First sell-off of the market cycle. Another thing I like about Hbar is how much it looks like early day Amazon. So if we pull up Hbar, not the market cap of Hbar, but the price of Hbar, and we pull up, let's pull up on Binance here where we have more historical data. And then let's pull up Amazon. Let's make sure my mic is still working because I just smacked it. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. I don't want that to happen again. We need audio for the whole time. I should have been looking at the live chat. I get so excited and then didn't even realize that my mic had stopped working earlier. But look at that. Okay, here's Amazon over here on the right. Here's Hbar over here on the left. Is this not the same thing? Is Hbar not like buying early day Amazon? Look at that. Here's our market cycle. That's the internet bubble. Here's 2008 on Amazon over here on the right. Here's Hbar. Here's our market cycle. Here is the tariff freak where everybody got freaked out because of tariffs. Okay. Is it not the same story all over again with different headlines in the news? Ask yourself that. Hbar looks incredible. It has, in relation, so here's Amazon right here in terms of volume during the internet bubble. And here we saw a big spike right here, right before 2008. And then Amazon became one of the biggest companies in the entire world, right? And I know, again, a lot of people don't want to, probably won't believe me and they'll think I'm nuts for saying this, but Hbar is very similar to early day Amazon. And right here, this volume spike in relation to its earlier cycle is even bigger than what we saw happening over here on Amazon. The future for Hbar is bright, very bright. Take it or leave it, but the charts don't lie. All right, cool. So that's enough Alex Eat. I covered quite a few coins that you wanted, but we got other people requesting coins. So I want to make sure we get as many people as possible. Okay. All right, let's go down here and answer the question of when you rotate back into Bitcoin. So let's pull up Bitcoin dominance here and look at Bitcoin dominance. Right now is not the time to have the majority of your capital in Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin dominance right before 2017 happened. Here's Bitcoin dominance right before 2021 happened. And here's Bitcoin dominance right now. Now, once Bitcoin dominance gets closer to support, or even it could go to a new all-time low, that's when you want to rotate back in to Bitcoin. Once we're super oversold, once this thing crashes and falls off a cliff, just like it did in 2017 and in 2021, even though the price of Bitcoin will be going up, Bitcoin dominance always falls off a cliff in every bull market. It happens every time because people start speculating about altcoins and they want to make more money, so they put their money in altcoins, and it's actually the right thing to do. If you want to make the most money, it's actually the right thing to do to put your money into altcoins when Bitcoin dominance starts topping out. But once this thing either hits support or goes to a new all-time low and it's super oversold, that's when you rotate back into Bitcoin, because it's going to bounce back up just like it always does. Because so we're focused on the crash that comes, but there's always a bounce too. In the bear markets, Bitcoin dominance always bounces. And at the start of the bull market too, Bitcoin dominance leads. But once you're full force into the bull market, Bitcoin dominance crashes. So it could hit support and then bottom, or it could go to a new all-time low. It could hit 27% before it bottoms out. But it probably will bottom out, and then we'll see an area where you can switch back from your altcoins back into Bitcoin. That's historically what's been the smartest thing to do. All right, cool. We already covered Altcoin. We already covered Vell. But let's pull up SHX, because that is a coin that a lot of people request for me to cover. I have made a video about Stronghold. If you haven't watched it, go look on my channel, type on YouTube High Altitude Investing Stronghold, and it'll pop up on YouTube. I am a big bull for this coin, and look, it's starting to do exactly what I said it was going to do, which is break out into a new all-time high. And the reason is because this is the first sell-off pattern. Sometimes the first sell-off can look a little bit different, okay? It can look like this, like it did with Dogecoin, like we were looking at earlier, and then it breaks out like that. Or the first sell-off can look like this and look kind of crazy and come up and go whoop whoop and go all crazy and then pump. That's what it did here with Stronghold. The first sell-off pattern looked a little bit crazier. But before a major parabolic run, there's pretty much always, and I say pretty much because the meme coin markets sometimes just take off without doing this, there's pretty much always a first sell-off where people get scared, they freak out, they sell their coins right before the biggest, juiciest pump comes. And that's where Stronghold is right now. We're really ready for that big parabolic run. Go watch my video I made about it. I made it when it was down here before it pumped, talking about this exact thing. So I'm bullish on Stronghold. Just tuning in, can you do Moog coin? Yeah, let's pull up Moog. I would love to cover Moog. Let's pull up Moog coin here on Dex Screener and verify that I am a human being real quick. All right, cool. Moog, M-O-G. Moog coin. Where's the biggest market cap? Here we are, biggest market cap and biggest liquidity. It's always best to look at the price where you find the biggest market cap and the biggest liquidity and the most volume, because that's going to be the most accurate. So this is the same thing. This is actually a first sell-off pattern. This is the same thing that Cat in a Dog's World did, okay? If you don't know about Cat in a Dog's World. This is really a big wave 1 and wave 2. Look at all this volume through all this whole period right here. This coin has a big community. I believe it's going to see another run. A wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5 before it's done doing what it's doing. So that looks good to me. I like this setup a lot. I like the wave 1, wave 2 structure. I like how oversold it is right now. Still undervalued. It started to recover a little bit, which is good. And I believe we will get a wave 3 for this coin. So it looks really nice. Can you list your top favorite altcoins? Okay, Theta, Hbar, it's definitely one of my favorites. XRP, I'm a big XRP fan. Stellar Lumens, Litecoin, that's it. Those are probably my top 5. Okay. Let's see here. The Theta is definitely my number 1. Next in line would be a battle between Stellar Lumens and Hbar. And I know I don't cover Hbar a lot on my channel. I probably should cover it more. Go watch this live stream if you missed my Hbar analysis. Go back earlier. It looks a lot like Amazon. I just talked about that. Looks really good. I'm a big fan of Litecoin. A lot of people don't like it, but the chart looks amazing. Billions of dollars of institutional money. Another good way to look at top coins to buy, you can just do 30-day volume on coinmarketcap.com. Any of the coins in the top 100 and 30-day volume. Chainlink, probably Chainlink. It's hard to make a top 5. Chainlink would probably be in that list. Even ADA, Cardano would probably be in that list. So really it'd be easier for me to make a top 10. It's really hard to make a top 5 of top coins to buy. But all of these coins right here that are doing billions of dollars or even hundreds of millions or 50 million in trading volume in the past 30 days, these are all coins that should be in your list of top coins that you're buying. Litecoin, Dogecoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, Cardano, you know, all of these coins are really good coins. Bitcoin Cash, these coins are going to go nuts. Okay, Tron. The volume speaks louder than words. Volume speaks louder than news. Volume speaks louder than pretty much anything. These are coins you should be looking at. If you want coins that are easy to buy, that don't take a lot of... If you want coins that are like basically guaranteed bets, trade based on volume alone. If you want to go riskier, then trade based on either good-looking chart patterns, or some people just do purely fundamentals. Then go riskier and go lower volume, lower market cap, and trade those coins. But all of these coins that have high volume, Pudgy Penguins, OKB, all of these coins, they're going to do good. It's like a guaranteed play to trade these coins. So, all right, let's pull up T-Fuel, I mean. I've got a huge list of coins people want me to cover. There's no way I'm going to be able to cover them all today. And by the way, thank you guys all for tuning in. I really appreciate. We've had over 315 viewers, which is pretty dang good. So this has been a big turnout today in my live stream, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. We're going to keep covering coins. We're almost an hour in. We're going to go a little over an hour like I normally do and cover as many coins as I can. And if you want for sure, a lot of people, because I get so many requests, a lot of people will donate. That's the only way you're going to for sure get your coin covered. You can always donate. I don't care if you do or you don't. Either way is cool. But if you donate, I'm going to cover your coin no matter what, right? So, but I try to cover as many of the free requests here as possible. So let's pull up T-Fuel, and we'll pull up the chart here, and we'll take a look at T-Fuel. So in terms of market cycle, T-Fuel is it's basically in the depression phase of its cycle. So we have Amazon over here on the right, okay? Now Amazon, the depression phase of Amazon was in 2002, at the bottom of the internet bubble, 2002, 2001. Right after the internet bubble had crashed, it topped out, and it really started to crash. And by 2002, 2003, and 2001, most stocks associated with the internet bubble had seen 90% declines, including Amazon.com. That's really where T-Fuel is right now. It's in the depression phase of the cycle. It's starting to go from depression into disbelief, but we're not quite there yet. We're gonna go into disbelief over the next couple months. And then we'll start to see the recovery phase and the beginning of a new bull market for this coin. And I believe we're going to see big things coming for T-Fuel and for Theta. Both really good buys. Again, Theta is my #1 favorite coin, and there's a reason for that. It's going to go crazy. All right. Bro, whiff. You've requested multiple times, so I guess even though you're spamming the chat, I'll cover your coin. But don't spam the chat, all right? Thank you for your request. I appreciate your request. But you guys, if you want your coin covered, I'm going to cover it just because I like whiff. But don't spam the chat, you guys. Just ask what you want. I'll try to cover as many as possible. Even in my comment section, if you ask in the comments of my videos for a coin, I try to cover as many of those as I can. But I only make videos, like 3 to 5 videos per week, and I only do 1 live stream per week. So to get all of the requests, I have a Google document that has like 90 people's requests for different coins. So to get all of them just is not practical, but I try to do my best. Dog Whiff Hat looks amazing. 4 billion was the peak in terms of market capitalization, and I highly doubt that's the top. We have a standard ABC correction, a bunch of volume down here. This is really set up for a big parabolic run. It's set up for massive gains. And if you look at Stellar Lumens is a good example of what markets can do, where they can crash, they can fall off a cliff, and then they go nuts. And if you look at stellar lumens, this is a really, really, really good example of what market cycles can do. Let's pull up XLM. I think we have to go to, where's the data? Is it on Coinbase that we have? Yeah, we have it on Coinbase. So we go over here to Coinbase. Look at this, okay? Here's XLM. A lot of people don't know, but in 2017, altcoins did a 90% correction. So they ran up at the beginning of the year, then they went down 90%. Everybody gave up. They thought the bull market was over. They thought it was over. But a lot of people don't know what happened right after. A lot of people weren't here. And I'm here to tell you that stellar lumens down here is a lot like dog with hat. So we have our ABC correction right here on stellar lumens, and we have our ABC correction on dog with hat. It's the same correction, and I believe we're going to have just as big of a run for dog with hat here that we saw with stellar lumens in 2017. People get squeezed out of the market. They panic sell in the depression phase. They panic sell after an ABC correction, but very few people buy the dip, and very few people know what happens after these big corrections. And it's fun. The parabolic runs that can come after these corrections are bigger than the parabolic runs that happened before them. Look at that. See how big that run on stellar lumens was before it finally had a bear market again? That's what I'm talking about. A lot of coins are ready to do that. This is alt season. This is time to be bullish on your favorite alts, including dog with hat. All right, let's cover AirSwap, AST. Think you had me cover this last week, maybe? I'm trying to remember. Oh, man. Getting scam text messages. AST, where do we have the most data? AST, AirSwap, let's go. AirSwap market cap. There we go. Here's the most data. The more data, the better. Even though we don't have volume here on the market cap version of it, there's no volume. You'd have to go to the Coinbase exchange to see the volume. This is still better to have more data. So you can see right here, we have an ABC correction, like here. You guys, look at this. This is the Litecoin fractal. Remember how I was talking about Bitcoin Cash at the start of today's live stream? And how it's the Litecoin fractal? Check this out. Let's pull up Litecoin over here on the right. We'll pull up Litecoin on Bitfinex, and we'll go all the way back to the very first cycle for Litecoin, okay? If I can find the Litecoin Bitfinex chart, there's so many versions of it here. Here we go. So look at this, okay? Here's the first cycle ever on Litecoin. Okay. It pumped right here in 2013. Huge bear market. Massive accumulation where it went sideways for a really long time right here. And then it went into a huge bull market. Then things got exciting. And if you look at AirSwap, it's the same exact thing. This is the same pattern, the same psychology of human emotion. Okay. Massive parabolic run in 2017, huge bear market, sideways accumulation. This thing is ready for a parabolic run, just like Litecoin in 2017, and just like how Bitcoin Cash is set up right now. Mike, thank you for tuning in. We already covered Telcoin, so go back and rewatch this live stream. At the beginning of the stream, I covered Telcoin and what my views on Telcoin are. So, already covered Telcoin. Ontology price prediction. Yeah, let's pull up ONT, ontology. Ontology versus the US dollar. And we'll isolate the chart here. So this is in the depression phase of the cycle, okay? Huge crash. We're all the way down here. We're at absolute lows of lows. This is the depression phase of the cycle. This is where most people are giving up. They wish they never would have put money into it. But this is the point of maximum financial opportunity. So if you pull up the market cycle chart and you study the simplified market cycle, is honestly the best one for beginners. So you pull up this market cycle Wall Street cheat sheet here. If it'll load. We should close out a Moog coin so we've got more bandwidth here. Pull up the Wall Street cheat sheet. Oh, come on. Give me just a second here, you guys. There we go. Let's pull up this Wall Street cheat sheet. So here's the Wall Street cheat sheet. And if you look in the top right, there's this thing called the simplified market cycle. And at the point of maximum expansion is the point of maximum financial risk. And the point of maximum contraction is the point of maximum financial opportunity. That's called the depression phase. And if you look at ONT, we're in the depression phase right now. This is the biggest financial opportunity for buying that's possible right now for ONT, for ontology. So I do expect a turnaround here. And even it does look like the Litecoin fractal. You just don't get the huge pump, right? You don't get the pump beforehand. But in terms of the accumulation, right, it's the same thing. In terms of accumulation, it's the same thing, okay? So imagine it being like right here, ONT, before a big parabolic run, before it blows people away. That's where we're at for this coin. Let's see. LTC. Yeah, we've been using Litecoin as a fractal comparison. We might as well cover it. So let's pull up Litecoin. And it is one of my favorite coins. I know you're not supposed to have favorites and stuff, but I actually really like Litecoin. Let's pull up NVIDIA here. And we'll go back and look at this. This is something I like to do because again, crypto is doing what the internet bubble did. So the internet bubble, the computing bubble, as a technology, the internet and computers went through a standard adoption cycle where there's a bubble, people freak out, and then it became mass adopted. And crypto is set up to do the same thing. If you look right here on Litecoin right now, and you look at early day NVIDIA, this is the same accumulation cycle, the same accumulation pattern. So a big parabolic run coming for Litecoin is what I personally expect. It's what I see in the charts, and that's where I'm placing my bets, is a big parabolic run. Bigger than 2017, bigger than 2021, massive accumulation. You can even see the volume mirrors what NVIDIA did. See how there's a big spike in volume right here for NVIDIA, then another big spike right here, and consistent volume all across this accumulation? Look at the volume on Litecoin, okay? Isn't it crazy? We'll switch to the monthly time frame here for Litecoin so we're on the same time frame. Isn't it crazy how there's a big volume spike right here, another big volume spike right here, and steady volume all across? Even the volume is a fractal of this early day accumulation on NVIDIA. So imagine NVIDIA became a household name, okay? Imagine crypto goes into mass adoption and goes parabolic. Crypto as a technology is doing what computers and the internet did. It's ready to go into mass adoption. That's what it's doing. It's already been through its bubble. It's already been through its, and now big institutions are here. and it's ready for mass adoption. I firmly believe that, including Litecoin. Man of Visuals, thank you for the donation. Thanks for this session. What's Loan Protocol and XPR? Yeah, we'll do some analysis on it. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. So let's pull up Loan Protocol first. Loan. So where do I do analysis on Loan Protocol? Where can I look at the chart? I don't think I've ever done. We'll start with XPR, but I've never done analysis on Loan Protocol, I don't think. So let me know where I can do that, so I can do that for you. I don't know where you're looking at the chart and stuff, but we'll start with XPR and then we'll go to Loan Protocol next. So again, this is the same thing I've been talking about with accumulation cycles. Here's XPR, just like ontology, just like we were looking at with the original fractal on Litecoin, the very first cycle. This is a standard accumulation cycle. And we've started to break out of the depression phase, and we're starting to turn around here. Starting to see the early signs of a bull market for XPR. And if we pull up, we're going to pull up the Litecoin fractal again to show you the psychology of the market. And Litecoin dollar versus Bitfinex. And here we go. So here is Litecoin over here on the right. And here is ontology, or XPR over here on the left. Okay? Same thing. This is what an accumulation fractal looks like. Price may be going down and sideways for a long time, but it's being accumulated by big players, and I actually really like XPR network. This is one that a lot of people are constantly requesting for me to cover. Huge community. This thing could go parabolic like crazy. It's the same thing as this early day, the very first cycle on Litecoin ever, back in 2013 and then 2014, and then it went sideways in 2015 and 2016, and then 2017 it took off. And XPR is really the same exact thing. It's the same pattern of human emotion happening all over again. I like this ABC correction here. I like the fact that we're starting to see strength coming in. Buying XPR right now, in terms of where it's at in its cycle, is a lot like buying Litecoin right here. Same thing before it goes parabolic. What's Loan Protocol? Let's go to CoinMarketCap. We can probably do, maybe we'll find it over there. And we're an hour and 16 minutes in, so I can't do very many more requests. I might do like one more, but I don't want to take my whole day here because I've got other things to do. Let's pull up Loan Protocol. Loan Protocol. I wonder why this thing isn't on TradingView. That's crazy to me. Pull up Loan Protocol here. Looks like my mic is still working, so that's good because that was not working before. Earlier, it stopped for like a little while, so I'm glad you guys told me so I could fix it. Loan Protocol is part of the XPR ecosystem. See, I'm learning something new today. This is cool. So it's probably on Dex Screener. I can probably look at the chart on Dex Screener. It does not look like we have a lot of data here on CoinMarketCap, but I bet if it's part of the XPR network, Loan Protocol. Loan Protocol. Very interesting. I wonder if it's on Dex Tools. Sometimes if you can't find it on Dex Screener, you can find it on Dex Tools. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done analysis on this one before. So this will be cool to find this one and do analysis on it. Loan protocol. Loan protocol. Man, it's not here either. I don't know where to do chart. I don't know where to find it to do analysis on it. Mana Visuals, if you can find a place where there's a chart of the data, like historical data for loan protocol, I will happily do analysis on it, but I can't find it anywhere. It's not on Dex Screener. Oh, it's on CoinGecko. Maybe they'll have a chart on CoinGecko. Loan protocol, the website is pulling up nice on XPR. So on xbrnetwork.org. Yeah, there isn't a... Oh! Proton Loan has been rebranded to Loan Protocol on XPR Network. Huh. Is it going to load a chart for us? I hope it does. Because I haven't... Aha! Here we go. Here's a chart. Oh man, this thing is going crazy. This is going nuts right now. Yeah, so this is the kind of uptrend that you see this and you think, oh, look, it's already up. It's not going to go up higher. And then it just keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher. This is a bull flag pattern. It's actually in a pretty good dip buy right now, Loan Protocol. This is the kind of chart, if you guys weren't here, if you guys haven't seen how big a parabolic run really can be, understand that just because something went up doesn't mean that it's done. These things can go crazy. Loan Protocol looks really good. I like this setup a lot. We did break out to a new all-time high. But if you've been here for 2017, or even 2021, and you've seen these coins start these big accumulations and start to break out, you know just how high they can go. They break out into price discovery like this, and sometimes, well, most of the time, they shoot up to the moon for a long time before they finally get stupidly overvalued and then top out. But I believe this thing is going to keep going up, especially if you look on the monthly here. We're really in a bull flag pattern. This is a good dip buy right here for Loan Protocol. Thank you, sir, for another great live show. Please take care of yourself and prosper. Thank you, William. I appreciate that, man, and I will. I will continue to prosper and take care of myself. Thank you. Let's do one more, maybe two, and then we're going to call it a day. I like to go a little extra, go the extra mile and cover, even though my tummy's growling because I didn't really eat much of a breakfast. Let's go ahead and cover two more coins here, and we'll call it a day. Okay. Let's pull up VET. Let's pull up VET. And then we're going to cover metal, which I actually have not covered in a long time. So that should be fun to cover metal. Yeah, this is fun, you guys. And yeah, thank you, Mana Visuals. V-Chain. Good old vet. V-Chain. This is the one that you see advertised everywhere. Like, they have a lot of advertising. They're always buying out different places so that they can get ads for their coin. I don't know why. Normally my internet is so fast during these live streams, but today it's tripping. It's alright though, whatever. We'll just work with it. So V-Chain is in the depression phase of the cycle. I'm actually glad that we have two charts pulled up right here, because we're going to pull up Ethereum over on the right, and we'll keep VeChain over here on the left. So here's Ethereum on the right, and we're keeping VeChain over here on the left. VeChain is in the depression phase of the cycle, so think 2020 for Ethereum. Okay, this was the depression phase for Ethereum right here. That's where we're at on VeChain right now, the depression phase. Maximum point of financial opportunity, lowest risk for this coin. Perfect ABC correction, perfect market cycle. This thing is really ready for a turnaround here, for a parabolic run. And yeah, this looks amazing. VeChain is looking really good. It's really ready for that big parabolic run. Just like how I've talked about with Theta. You know, we'll pull up Theta really quick. Theta, as you guys know, is my #1 favorite coin. Same thing, it's in the depression phase of the cycle. ABC correction here. It's in the same point as where Ethereum was in 2020 right here during the COVID drop. Same point for Theta, same point for VeChain. Big parabolic run is in the works for both of those coins. Let's pull up Metal, MTL, and then we're going to call it a day. Wow, you can't... Oh, here we go. Binance. Cool. So Metal is pretty low volume here. Pretty low volume. I wonder if we can find somewhere with more data. Data is important whenever you're doing analysis. If you can get the most data possible, it's going to be the most helpful. Sometimes if you can't find easily on TradingView, here's a little trick and a little secret for you guys. Go to this free website called charts.cointrader.pro. And what this website does is it pulls data from coinmarketcap.com. And so you can type in metal, and then don't ever click on Coin Paprika because that place doesn't exist anymore. But if you type in metal and then go to coinmarketcap.com, you're going to get the most historical data every time, because it's going to combine all of the exchanges together into one place. Because it's pulling from CoinMarketCap, because CoinMarketCap pulls from all the exchanges into one place, right? So that's the best way, if you can't find the historical data, to get all of the historical data. You guys, this is the Litecoin fractal all over again. Just like I've been talking about through this whole live stream. In 2013, Litecoin had a big pump, then it had a big bear market in 2014, and then it went sideways. And then in 2017, it went vertical. The price of Litecoin went vertical. And this Metal DAO is set up to do the same thing. It's set up for a big parabolic run. It looks a lot like early day Litecoin. Same accumulation pattern. Big double bottom right here. A lot of volume coming in, especially recently. This thing looks ready for a big parabolic run, just like what happened to Litecoin in 2017. Only this accumulation pattern took even longer, so it could last even longer than just a year, like we saw in 2017. Cool. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. It's always fun to do these live streams. Always a good time. I'll play one little song on my guitar for you, and then we'll call it a day here. Let's see here. Gotta play something that won't destroy my ad revenue, because every time I play something that everybody knows, it does 50-50 split. I have to pay half my ad revenue to like the company that owns the Beatles and stuff. So